When I married Daniel 3 years ago, I knew that life would be different. Not only was I stepping into a new marriage after a difficult divorce, but I was also becoming a stepmother to his teenage son, Mateo. Daniel and I had met through work. He was a contractor, and I was working as an interior designer. Our professional relationship had blossomed into something personal, something real. When he proposed, I thought I had finally found peace after years of heartache. But blending families is never simple. Mateo had been 12 when I first met him, cautious and reserved, his dark eyes always observing, measuring if I was someone worth trusting. I didn't push too hard. I wanted him to come to me in his own time. Over the years, we found a rhythm. He would help me in the kitchen, sit with me while I worked on designs, and even ask me questions about school projects. Slowly, I felt him letting me in. Still, there were moments when I noticed a distance between him and his father. Daniel was loving but stern, always pushing Mateo to do better in school, to play sports, to be tough. Sometimes I could see Mateo shrink under the weight of those expectations. He wanted his father's approval more than anything, but Daniel's way of showing love was not always easy to read. That night, the night everything changed, had started off completely normal. Daniel had gone out of town for work, leaving me and Mateo alone at home. I cooked us dinner, and we sat at the table, the quiet hum of the television in the background. We talked about his classes, about the history project he was working on. I thought he seemed a little withdrawn, but teenagers have their moods, and I didn't press. After dinner, I cleaned up while Mateo excused himself and went upstairs. I stayed in the living room, watching an old movie until sleep began to pull at my eyes. By the time I made it to bed, I was exhausted. I barely remember pulling the blanket over me before drifting into a deep sleep. It was sometime in the middle of the night when I felt it, soft footsteps in the hallway, hesitant and slow. At first, I thought I was dreaming, but then my bedroom door creaked open, and I stirred. My heart raced as I opened my eyes just enough to see Mateo standing there, his silhouette framed by the faint glow of the nightlight in the hall. "Mateo?" I whispered, my voice groggy. "What's wrong?" He didn't answer at first. He just stood there, shifting nervously from one foot to the other. Then, in a voice so quiet I almost didn't hear it, he said, I need to tell you something." I sat up, rubbing my eyes, instantly more alert. "What is it? Did something happen?" He stepped into the room, his hands clenched at his sides. "I can't sleep. I've been keeping something inside, and I don't know who else to talk to." My heart softened. I motioned for him to sit in the chair near my bed. He hesitated, then lowered himself onto it, his eyes downcast. I could see his shoulders trembling. "You can tell me anything, Mateo," I said gently. "Whatever it is, I'll listen." When he finally looked up, I saw tears brimming in his eyes. His voice broke as he said, "Dad doesn't know the real me, and I'm scared if he finds out he won't love me anymore." The words hit me like a stone. I reached for his hand without thinking. "Mateo, what do you mean by that?" He swallowed hard, his chest rising and falling rapidly. "I'm not like what Dad wants me to be. He wants me to be strong, to play football, to act like I don't care about feelings. But that's not who I am. I like different things. I don't want to be an athlete. I like art. I like music. And there's something else." His voice cracked again, and he looked away, unable to meet my gaze. I waited, giving him time. When he spoke again, the words came out in a rush. "I don't think I like girls the way Dad expects me to. I think I like boys. And I don't know how to tell him. I'm so scared he'll hate me if he finds out." Tears welled in my own eyes as I listened. This wasn't just a secret. It was a burden Mateo had been carrying alone, one that was crushing him. I squeezed his hand gently. "Mateo," I said softly, "thank you for trusting me with this. Nothing you just told me changes how much you are loved. Not by me, and not by your father either. He may not always show it perfectly, but he loves you. And I promise you, we'll figure out how to talk to him together." He broke down then, sobbing quietly as I moved to sit beside him. I wrapped my arms around him, holding him as though he were my own child. In that moment, I realized he wasn't just my stepson, he was part of my heart, and his pain was mine too. That night stretched on, the two of us sitting in my room, whispering through the darkness about his fears, his dreams, and what it meant to live authentically. I didn't have all the answers, but I gave him the only thing I could: unconditional love and the assurance that he wasn't alone. And that was just the beginning of a journey that would test our family, challenge Daniel, and ultimately change all of us forever.